Hello and welcome to this webinar where we will show real customer examples about the use of global content modules. How are people using this? What have they set up? Um, and how does it actually work to instantly update whatever amount of docs your global content module sits in? Earlier this year, we released this feature and at that time also hosted a webinar about it. It's a feature that got a large amount of excitement around it. And we can share some success stories, some use cases, and possibly show you what else is possible on top of what you're already doing with global content modules. We are excited because it saves you enormous amounts of times in the updating of your Folian docs. It really creates ease in the content process, which allows scalability, and the governance of content becomes much, much more secure. This webinars, we will not be talking about what the future feature looks like or how to actually set it up, but we're really showing what are customers using it for and what is possible with it. We are joined today by some amazing guest speakers that will be telling you about it. Of course, my name is Lopke Bijman, in case you've seen previous webinars, and Alex Boucher, the Customer Success Manager at Folian, is joined by Chris. Chris is the Graphic Design Manager at Turner & Townsend and will actually show how they have set up global content modules and some docs they are used in. Feel free to ask any of your questions or doubts or things that you're like, not 100% clear about that. Just type it in the chat. Marina is with us today, and you can just drop your questions there just so that we make sure you can follow us while the webinar progresses. We'll take about 20-ish minutes. And yes, the webinar will be on demand available for you to either look back later, or if you got to drop off midway, feel free to do so. Fantastic. Alex, let's jump right in and kind of start by an overview. What is the feature and why would you recommend your customers use it?
Yeah, of course. So global content modules are reusable blocks of content that you can manage in one place and roll out across all of your Folian docs. So typically teams use them when they want to make sure that critical information, so pricing, disclaimers, or service description always stay accurate everywhere that they feature. So instead of updating the same thing across multiple docs, you will update it once in one place and it carries through automatically without the need to republish. So again, that not only saves time on a lot of different manual work and updating every doc, particularly with those design heavy content, but it also clears up version confusion when different departments are contributing to the same materials. On top of that, it also helps maintain a consistent brand look and feel, even when those updates are made. So it really helps with a lot of the brand governance. So really, as organizations grow, and again, the number of docs grow within Folian, modules make it a lot easier to scale your content without adding a lot of extra overhead.
That's amazing. It's definitely a feature that can be quite mind-blowing. If you like, once you've set it up and you start updating your modules and it's instantly visible in your live Folian docs. We're joined today by a customer who has implemented global content modules soon after the feature became available. Chris, we're very excited to have you. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy weeks. Welcome, and can you maybe introduce yourself and tell us about Turner & Townsend?
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, my name is Chris Bicker. I'm based in Leeds in the UK, and I work for Turner & Townsend. Been working for Turner & Townsend for like coming up to 5 years now. We are a international professional services company. Our expertise span across real estate, infrastructure, energy and natural resources, and we have like 22 plus thousand people working for us in more than 60 countries globally. Specifically, I'm a graphic design manager for Turner & Townsend, and I work in the global marketing and communications like part of the business. So I'm kind of responsible for all of our major like publications and reports, as well as other general generic graphic design duties. So yeah, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Thank you. And you did start using global content modules already a couple of months back. Uh, could you maybe just to show a little bit of contrast, tell us what you were doing before global content modules kind of were out there?
Yeah, so before it was more of that sort of replicating a lot of the same blocks, sort of duplicating them and going finding ourselves having to go back into older docs that we've like published, and then sort of reminding ourselves to go back and update things.
Yeah, I guess that's what everyone used to do, and probably still a lot of our customers are doing.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's very
that,
time consuming.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Can be quite frustrating if you have 100 docs out there that need to be
that's it.
updated. And what benefits were you hoping for uh, when you started to implement global content modules?
Yeah, I think like the main one was like a time saving thing, so we didn't have to go back in and change multiple docs time and time again. We went in with a like an open mind, and we sort of started with footers, and sort of went in with keeping an open mind to try and maybe implement modules in other parts of our docs.
Great. Yeah, an open mind. That's interesting. Well, then, why did you decide to set up your first global content module? Like,
Yeah,
what?
I think there was a lot of inconsistencies in our footers specifically, just because we've been creating docs for so long, and we found that our sort of like design route has sort of changed a bit. So we decided to sort of go in straight away, and we knew that it'd be like a time saving thing. We had, like I said, we have like historic documents with like old copyright dates in the footer. I think it's kind of like left those as is, but all of our current and future docs get the modules, which allows us to sort of keep information like, up to date, easier.
Yeah. So, if I understand correctly, you didn't go back and change the footer to all the existing docs out there.
No,
You just created the module and
yeah,
started adding it to new docs
yeah, sure.
being
Hmm.
created. Okay, great. Yeah, that definitely removes the barrier
Yeah,
of needing to then have that across all your docs. I'm really curious, what global content modules have you set up? And of course, it would be great if we could have a look. Is that possible?
yeah, sure. I could dive right in and share. Um,
Fantastic. There we
Here we
go.
go. There we go. So yeah, so this is our like our main workspace, and then I'll dive into our modules and show what we've got. Um, so here we've got um, we've got three. We've got our footer in three parts here. We sort of see how many assets we've used it in here, and then we've got our boilerplate, and then different versions of our boilerplate for different like legal entities and globally. But our footer specifically is a includes like a bit of a contents, includes our privacy policy and our cookies, and I can just show you here in the editor if I look into it this way. So this is the bottom part of our footer. This is four of four parts where we've got our cookie policy here, and that's just a link to oh, try that again.
Yeah, so we're then looking at the block that is being saved as a global content module.
Yeah, exactly.
One
Yeah,
block. Hmm.
yeah. So we've got one block here as part of a four block footer. And then, like I said, we've got our privacy policy, which links out to our privacy policy, and then cookies as well, and then the year, our copyright date, um, and
That's
that thing. So I can. It might not look like much there, but if I can show you what it looks like in a published doc, we can sort of see how it all like fits together. I can see what assets it's used in here, so I can use this and find out all of our docs that it's used in, and then I can open it straight into in my content editor.
That's great. Yeah, and those are all 2025 documents I saw.
Yeah. Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, I think especially the multiple parts of the footer is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it kind of I think we needed to do that for the different elements that we needed to include in our footer. So this is one of our recent published documents. It's a global construction market intelligence doc, and then so specifically this is our footer. So you can see how we've got it in 4 parts here. We've got the first global content module, which just is just sort of says contents and some followers to like link to our socials, and then we've got a bit down here which is our brand positioning statement, and then again the last bit which I've just shown you in the editor. We've got these in 4 parts because we've got this this second part of our footer, which is just a general block, which we use as like a secondary navigation to the bit at the top. So a bit like as it says there, it's like a contents page, and we've got links to home and the different pages throughout our documents, and this would then vary across all of our docs. So then this is why we don't include this as a global content module. You can sort of see it in this in a published version where we've got links to our content pages here and our privacy policy and things at the last bit of the footer there.
This is amazing, and especially with the gradient, it looks really solid.
Yeah, what we did was we created an image as a gradient as an image, and then saved that as a background and make sure that the background was consistent across all 3 of our global content module blocks, as well as the generic block that we have in the middle that contains our content.
That's great. And then the generic navigation block that you have as the second part of your footer,
Yeah,
is that then a template so that you have the consistency in the
yeah,
different?
yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Yeah, so it's a template, and then what we do is we just sort of like tweak the buttons to the pages that we need. Yeah.
fantastic. This is really interesting. And I did see a boilerplate there in your global content modules as well.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
just to understand what you mean by boilerplate.
Yeah, so this is our boilerplate here. It's our or a mission statement. I think it sort of tells us a bit about our company and what kind of how we work with our clients. And then this is one part, and then we've got this part here, which is another global. So I think again we've got it in 2
Like a
parts. If I can
disclaimer.
show you it in here, we can show it in 2 parts. Yeah, so this is one at the top where we just speak to tells us initially about our company, and then we have this second one here because this contains that legal information, depends on where the document's published or which entity of a business has published it. So this will have like Turner and Townsend Limited, whereas Canada have got a different legal entity. So we have just a few different versions of this one if we were publishing documents in Canada, for example. So.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Mm.
This is really exciting. Thank you so much for opening up and opening up your account as well and the editor and showing us through how you have set this up and the different design elements. Um, it's really exciting to see that. Based on your experience, do you have any tips for others that are considering to set up global content modules?
Yeah, I think so. What we did, we just dove in straight away. We were like, once the feature became available, we sort of knew that it would be a massive like time saving feature, so we just dove in straight away. We started with a couple of docs, And I would say like maybe like don't worry if you think you might get it wrong. We started to do it, then we realized that that we needed to make some more design tweaks. Things weren't like lining up properly, especially as we were doing our footers across 3 or 4 like different blocks. So we went back to the drawing board, came up with some more ideas, and came to a bit of a conclusion. And this, you've seen what we've got now.
This is amazing. Chris,
Mm,
thank you so much for joining us.
it's okay.
I'm gonna switch to Alex for a moment. Um, Alex, I'm just really curious. Uh, Definitely fooders seems like low-hanging fruit. Everyone wants a fooder in their Folian dock, and that's a very quick win or low-hanging fruit to have that time saving. What other use cases are common?
Yeah, so I think it's really vital again for global content modules are really vital for again country information that changes regularly. So examples of that would be pricing pages are a really big use case. Again, something that's getting updated regularly. About us pages were again a little bit less regular, but it needs to be updated quite a lot. Also, then we see customers doing them for like call to actions that you repeat over and over again. So, say within a newsletter for demand marketing, you want people to sign up to your newsletter or check out your LinkedIn, something like that, a button that will be within a block is a very good use case. Again, also, we see customers using it for different rewards or recognition to really show their expert status. There's a lot of different, but these are the kind of core ones that we see that really are working very well.
That's really good. And are you able to show us any real examples there?
Yeah, of course. Let me share my screen and I can show you again. We have some,
Anything real we're interested in?
yeah, absolutely. So again, Chris showed a really nice example there of like a multiple block footer. What I'm going to show you here is maybe a little bit more of a simpler version. So here within Avision Young, they use one block at the bottom here as their footer to showcase their social media icons. So you see here on the bottom left, which again, they can use across all of their reports. Or potentially say on the final page. This is one use case that we see. That's a much kind of simplified version and a kind of a very quick fix. Another use case that we have here, again, this is a multiple block page that could have a multiple different global content modules. So this CCIG brokerage about us cover page would be a great use case to see, say if they have all their different offices. When I scroll down, or they have their awards. So again, they can update this block, the more awards that they get over time. They also, again, when it comes to their leadership, so any changes in leadership or any changes in personnel, they can update each block in one centralized space rather than having to go through each doc for each change. And again, sometimes if this is already featured within their previous docs, it may take a little bit of time at the beginning to replace them with global content modules, but in the long run, it's a huge time saver. Something a little bit different. Again, so you can also save a full page as a global content module. So here we have the European Investment Fund, and they've actually created a full one pager, including all of their publications within Folian, and which all of these link to each Folian doc. So all of their different reports that they create over time. So they add each doc to this page that is created. And again, this is a global content module. So this means that it's always up to date. They can then have this page feature on the last page of each global content. They can then have this page at the end of each publication. So it means that people can go through all of the other content that they have and that they've published.
It's amazing. Yeah, so it just keeps docs up to date and refreshed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it means that, again, you don't have to go into everything always has everything available.
Fantastic.
I have one more then to show you. So again, this is more so a recruitment use case. So with one of our customer Gleeds, so they're using a block here to have their great places to work awards. They also have, as I scroll down here, they have an about us block. see here which includes an overlay. So we have new advancements within global content modules that you now can include blocks with overlays as a global content module. So again, here they have all of the different offices. So once they add new offices or have different changes, they can use this and update, and it will then be up to date within everywhere that it's features. Again, it doesn't end there. There's a huge amount more possible, but these are some great use cases that we have seen amongst our different customers.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it seems like it's kind of endless, and it definitely needs to kind of fit within your content creation process and within the types of docs that you're creating. Um, Alex, we do, besides modules, of course, have templates. They've been around forever, and you can design from scratch. When would you recommend a module, a template, or a custom design? Like, how do you set these apart?
So I think when it comes to modules, they're really key when you don't have to think about the design and the content. When you then would look at more where templates still are the best option would really when you want to keep the design and layout and where it's different between each doc. So if you want to, you have the structure there, but you want to add your own content and it varies a lot, that is when you use templates. So when it's really focusing on the design, but the content changes within each, that's when you would really stick to templates. Then when you look within, say, custom design docs, so where everyone would be different, that's really a one-of-a-kind doc. So preferably you don't do this often, as again, with Valiant, it's always about using your templates to create content. But this is when you'd kind of keep then to the custom design docs.
Yeah, so templates are kind of like the core for consistency, brand, and speed of creating docs. Custom design is always there, really great, but global content modules really works if you just want the block, both the design and the content set in place,
Absolutely.
locked away.
That's it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Chris, curious if this triggered any new thoughts uh, for you, or if you have any final things that you would like to share about global content modules with the audience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just seeing Alex's screen and then looking what the European Investment Fund doing with having all their publications as one sort of page, so a global content module. I think that's something that we like, potentially might look at. We are starting to use like Folium to serve as like some local language microsites in some regions around the world, and I think it might be beneficial to have that kind of setup using the global content modules um, to have that feature.
That's great. Well, Chris, it's been really great to have you on. Thank you so much again for opening up your account and sharing your expertise with us. Alex, any final comments on your side before
I
we
think
wrap it up?
again, we have some customers that are really using global content modules and we've seen a huge success. One thing that I always would just say, yes, it takes a little bit of time maybe at the beginning when you're going back on top on from previous docs, but I think it's a huge time saver and it's really something that customers should be looking at to help scale their content in the future. It should be top of mind.
That's amazing. Yeah. And we did just learn from Chris that you don't need to even go back in time and update all those existing docs. You can just make the change moving forward. Um, then it's as easy as making a block.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for being online, for joining this webinar, for asking your questions. We are available if you have any questions about global content modules or possibly how it could work for you and also give you the benefit of saving the time and staying consistent. So it's a huge benefit for governance of your docs as well. Our customer success manager or your customer success manager is available for you. There is a full life. So if you would like us to reach out to you, let us know, yes, and we will get in touch. Otherwise, you know where to find us as well. And definitely share with your team that there are global content modules and what the benefits are. Maybe share some ideas of what's possible. We are doing plenty of webinars, so sign up to the next one, and I look forward to see you then. Thank you so much.